Fantasy EFL is back, and in today's video I'll be giving you all the key data that help to get off to a good start in this new fantasy game. Before we get into this video, if you are new to this channel, be sure to like and subscribe so the support does not go unnoticed. I will be posting Fantasy EFL content across the new season alongside other fantasy football games. If you are interested in being in my mini league for a bit of fun, you can click the link in the description or the code is on the screen right now. It is a long video today. We're going through a lot of things: teams to target, differentials, all that stuff, and finally my team selection, and let's get straight into it. And we will start things off with teams to target here. We have a spreadsheet created by myself, and this analyses the teams who you should pick for club picks and player picks. The teams shown in red you should avoid, and in green is where it's a great idea to pick some of their assets. Of course, only League 1 and League 2 sides are in action in Game Week 1, and I'll start off with League 1. This is purely opinion based, but I think a lot of people will share the same opinions as me. As you can see by the columns, I think Blackpool at home to Stevenage is a great fixture, Cardiff at home to Peterborough, Luton at home to Wimbledon. That is on the opening day of the season, so the vice captain trick may be useful there. Of course, Cardiff and Luton being recently relegated into League 1. And a bit of a rogue one here, Wigan at home to Northampton. I think Wigan's defence is incredible, and I expect Northampton to be down there in League 1 this season. In my opinion, you should be avoiding the recently promoted sides because they are a bit of an unknown asset, an unknown quantity. You don't really know what you're going to get from them. Wimbledon, Port Vale, Bradford, Doncaster, they are all an avoid for me. But as the season progresses, we'll get a better idea of the better sides in the division, and that may well be a recently promoted side like the ones I have just mentioned. But at the minute, those are the teams in League 1 I think you should all be targeting. And we'll move on to League 2 right now. Like the League 1 sides, I do think there are quite a few League 2 teams you should be targeting, although you can't have them all, unfortunately. Bristol Rovers are at home to Harrogate. I think Rovers will be one of the strong sides in the division, alongside the rest of the teams I'm going to mention here. Chesterfield are at home to Barrow, Colchester at home to Tranmere, Gillingham are away to Accrington. I think this is the only away side I've got in this team to target segment. I think the home teams have the advantage in Game Week 1 more so than they do in other game weeks, because opening day of the season, it can be a bit intimidating because everyone has high hopes and that gets the fans going, so it is a bit more difficult to play as the away side. And MK Dons at home to recently promoted Oldham. Like I said in the League 1 segment, avoid the recently promoted sides, Oldham and Barnet, although the promoted sides into League 2 usually do quite well, but I would avoid just in case they turn out to be a bit rubbish. And those are my teams to target for Game Week 1. Of course, in Game Week 2, we will have more variety of teams to pick from because there's a whole new division coming in. But in saying that, I still think we are spot for choice this game week. There are loads of good sides playing the poorer sides, and that really helps out the Fantasy EFL player. Moving on to the betting odds, and in my opinion, these are really helpful. You may not feel the same, but for me, during last season, they were helpful in getting me a good rank, and I'm sure it will be the same this season. We're going to go through clean sheet odds and top goal scorer odds for across the season, and we'll begin with Luton, who are at home to Wimbledon, and they have a very high chance of keeping a clean sheet in Game Week 1 with 44.4%. The most popular pick is Mark McGuinness, but I don't think he will be available for the Game Week 1 game against Wimbledon, but you've got to get a Luton defender in there somewhere with those odds. And for Chesterfield and Colchester, their odds are the same as Luton, and I've not seen many teams with their defenders in it, so it is a bit different, and going different is always good if you want to get a very high rank ASAP. Bristol Rovers have a 42.1% chance of keeping a clean sheet in Game Week 1. They are at home to Harrogate. Connor Taylor is the most popular pick, and again, like Luton, he may not be available for Game Week 1. He is rumoured with a move elsewhere to Wycombe Wanderers, I believe. But there are still a plethora of defenders to pick from Bristol Rovers: Alfie Kilgore, Taylor Moore, Bryant Belongo, even the wing-backs Sparks and Macaulay Southam Hales. And I think I will be going, I'll be back on my own in Game Week 1. Wigan also have a 42.1% chance, and their defenders are very popular. Goalkeeper Sam Tickle, Kurt in defence, Aimson as well. They're all very popular picks, and the betting odds show there is reason to that. Despite Wigan having a pretty poor 24-25 season, their defence was pretty good. And very interestingly, Doncaster, the newly promoted side in League One, they have a 40% chance of keeping a clean sheet in Gameweek 1, and they're at home to Exeter, so Exeter are a pretty poor side in terms of League One. Going for, I don't know, Sterry, the fullback, is like an ultra differential. And if you're going there, fair play to you. And those are the clean sheet odds. As I said, they are very helpful for me. And we'll go on to the top goal scorer odds, the Golden Boot winners right now. Aaron Collins comes up at top with a 16.7% chance of winning the Golden Boot in League 2. In my opinion, I think many people will share this opinion. He is a top end League 1 player and he's moved to League 2. That move from Bolton is bizarre. 16 goal involvements last season in League 1, and of course he'll get more in League 2, especially with MK Dons. They're meant to be the more dominant side in League 2 this season. Alfie May is a bit of a cult hero in League 1. He's always up there for the top goal scorer in the division, and the betting odds think the same this season. He has got the same odds as Aaron Collins, and with 24 goal involvements for Birmingham last season, he wasn't even like the main man. It was always Stansfield taking all the pens, all the stuff like that. May still picked up quite a few goal involvements, and when he is the main man for Huddersfield, he'll get even more, I'm sure of it. League 2's top goal scorer, I believe, Michael Cheek. He has a 9.1% chance of winning the League 2 Golden Boot next season. And with the amount of goals he scored for a pretty average side last season, I'm not surprised that the bookmakers think he'll do the same this season. The last player from this list I want to talk about is Davis Keeler-Dunn of Barnsley. He may be moving on elsewhere, but as it stands, he'll be playing Plymouth in Gameweek 1. Of course, he was great last season, loads of goals, loads of assists, but the main thing I want to talk about here is his shots on target per 90. He averages around one shot on target every game, and of course, in this season of Fantasy EFL, a shot on target equals a point. So you're pretty much guaranteeing yourself a 3-pointer every time you pick DKD, and that is pretty good going if you want to guarantee yourself some points. Okay, so that is all the betting odds out the way, and we'll move on to some differentials right now. It wouldn't be a Fantasy EFL video without a differential segment, and this is what we have got right here, 3 differentials for you. But I must say there are loads of good threads on Twitter that cover the same thing as we're doing right now. They are really informative, and if you're looking for that type of content, give them a look. We'll start off with Kelly M. Mike of Salford. He is victim to some interest elsewhere. I think Bolton are interested in him, and that does make sense geographically, but as of the time of recording, he is a Salford player and he is 0.3% selected in Gameweek 1. Last season he picked up 9 goals and 6 assists, but the really interesting thing for me, he picked up a key pass every single game. Most weeks you're looking at a key pass bonus point there. He is a midfielder, but he is a very attacking midfielder, but despite that he picked up 19 interceptions last season, and that is a really good number because with MI you're not really looking for those interceptions, but they're in there anyways. He faces Crewe at home in Gameweek 1, and that's definitely a game where he can pick up a few points. Our second differential is Sam Gale. I love this man in Fantasy EFL 24-25. He was a points machine despite him only playing a few games during the back end of last season. He is 0.2% selected. I think it's Accrington away in Gameweek 1. 22 games played last season, 41 interceptions. That's nearly 2 interceptions every single game. And of course, an interception point equals 2 points. He's classed as a midfielder in this game, but in real life he plays as a left centre back, so that's why he gets so many interceptions, and he is a bit of a cheat code in Fantasy EFL if you're looking for that differential. And the final one I've got here is Naismith of Luton, 0.4% selected, and he is facing Wimbledon at home in Gameweek 1. Of course, there are questions to Mark McGuinness's availability in Gameweek 1. He would be the go-to Luton defender if there weren't this uncertainty, but Naismith is just as good. He will be playing low-owned, and he does get a few clearances here and there as well. As I said earlier, Luton's chances of a clean sheet in Gameweek 1 are really high. I think it was 44.4%, and that does justify picking him in Gameweek 1. Those are my differentials done for this video. There are a few more that I do like. I could go into other Rovers defenders, but I'm not going to do that. I may do that on Twitter, and if you are interested in seeing that, my Twitter will be linked in the description. And this is my team selection. Of course, it may be altered as we know the lineups for Gameweek 1, but at the minute, this is where I am at, and I think it is looking pretty good. In goal, we got Luke Southwood of Bristol Rovers. He was at Bolton last season, and I think he will be the best keeper in League 2 next season. Rovers, of course, face Harrogate in Gameweek 1, and there's definitely a big opportunity for Bristol Rovers to keep a clean sheet in that game. I don't think Harrogate have looked entirely promising in pre-season, and Bristol Rovers have looked pretty decent defensively. They kept a clean sheet against Oxford a few days ago, and in general have been looking pretty good defensively. We are sticking to the 3-2-1 formation. If you're not sure how to change formation, there's a little toggle by here. Simple and easy, but a 3-2-1 with 3 defenders, that's how I like to play this game to maximise those clearance points. And we'll start off with Cal Naismith, who we've recently talked about literally a few seconds ago. The fixture is great. I think he is guaranteed minutes, of course. We can see when the lineups come out, but for me he is a stick. Kerr of Wigan is my second centre back. Northampton at home in Gameweek 1. He is a clearance king, 331 in 44 appearances last season, and 18 clean sheets for Wigan, who were a pretty poor side last season, but their defence was clearly quite good. Now my captain at the minute, this is a very rogue one, and it definitely is subject to change, is Dunkley of Chesterfield. Now we only made 9 appearances last season for Chesterfield due to injury, I believe, but I think he is back now, and if he is a great pick. High clean sheet odds as we saw earlier, and in my opinion he will be one of the best centre backs in League 2 next season, of course if he stays fit. He is my captain at the minute, but I've got a vice captain on Saville of Luton. He is playing in the Friday game, so I may make use of the vice captain trick if Saville does pick up a few points in that game against Wimbledon, but I'm not really expecting that. He's more of an interception player, defender player, 50 interceptions in 45 appearances last season, 53 key passes as well. That is brilliant stuff, and he's one of the only players that have stuck since day one when this game came out. I've always had Saville and Aaron Collins in my team, who we'll get onto in a second, but I think Saville is a great pick. There are loads of good Luton midfield picks, but that is the one for me. He was great at Millwall last season, and he'll be great for Luton this season, I'm sure of it. My second midfielder is Luke Molyneux of Doncaster Rovers. He was a king last season, 30 goal involvements in 45 games, loads of key passes, loads of shots on target, and a few interceptions here and there. Exeter at home is very decent for Doncaster. That's really what you want, and they've got Mansfield in Game Week 2 as well, which isn't too bad either. But Exeter at home definitely gives Molyneux the opportunity to score a few points, and with his record last season, I very much expect him to do so. Leading the line is Aaron Collins. Like Salford, he was at Bolton last season, but he's took the step down for some reason. He is definitely a lot better than League 2, but he's got the highest odds of winning the Golden Boot in League 2, so he's going to score a load of goals. And MK Dons are facing recently promoted Oldham in Gameweek 1. I do quite like that fixture. If we go over his stats, 12 goals, 5 assists in League 1 last season, 41 key passes and 38 shots on target. Aaron Collins is a very popular player in this game. He is nothing rogue. He is around 31% selected for Gameweek 1, and there is no surprise there really. My 2 team picks are still Luton and MK Dons. I prefer backing the home teams. I just think they have a massive advantage in Gameweek 1. Of course, if you are to go for the away side, going for an away side that wins gives you more points, a +2. I believe I would go for Gillingham if you are looking to go a bit more riskier, but I'm going to play it safe in Gameweek 1. And yeah, that is my team for Gameweek 1. Let me know what you think of it in the comments below. And that does conclude this video. If you have enjoyed the video, please remember to like and subscribe. Support does not go unnoticed. I am trying to hit 250 subscribers before the start of the Premier League season. So if we can hit that goal, that would be amazing. If you can help me, thank you very much. A link to join my mini league will be in the description, along with my Twitter, where I'll be posting more Fantasy EFL content. And yeah, thank you for watching and good luck in Game Week 1.